Hi there, it's Beauty Junkay. Welcome to my channel. Yes, I am in my white robe because tonight I'm going through my self-care Sunday routine with you. I've done this before, but it's been probably a few months since I've gone through all my steps, and I have some new products that I'm introducing into my self-care Sunday routine. Now, not every Sunday I do this full routine because it takes actually a couple hours from start to finish. So let's start self-care Sunday. All right, so my hair is dry. It may seem like, oh, you must have showered. No, not yet. I'm actually gonna do the pre-treatment steps, which is very important, mostly for my hair, because doing a couple pre-treatment steps actually avoids roughing up my ends and more damage when I shampoo my hair. Because when you shampoo, you're creating some friction in there, so I like to help out my hair as much as possible because I bleach it, it's damaged. You guys know the drill, and it's curly, extra dry. So I'm going to put a pre-treatment mask. This is the Philip Kingsley Elasticizer. This is the giant bottle. Normally it's in a much smaller tub or a tube. I don't do this step that often because it takes a while. It actually adds probably half an hour to my routine for my hair. So usually I just wash my hair and then deep condition out of the shower for like 30 minutes or so and then rinse it. That's the extent of my hair masking, but I should honestly, every time I do my once a week self-care Sunday, I should do the pre-treatment my hair as well. A new product I am adding to my pre-treatment hair masking routine. I'm just going to use this on my ends this time and use this on the rest of my hair. But this is the Hair Ritual by Cicely Le Balm Restructurant Nourissant. That's the French version. That's the French name of this product. It's also called Restructuring Nourishing Balm. It's a really rich kind of cleansing balm texture, except it doesn't cleanse. It adds basically an oil to the ends of your hair. You rub this in between your fingers. I'll show you what it looks like. It smells very herbal, not quite what I expected. I expected something floral, I guess. But it is nice and it feels really nourishing on your ends. You can actually leave this in your hair overnight and wash your hair in the morning. That would actually give you the most bang for your buck with this treatment because this is a very expensive product from Sicily, but I wanted to try it out, see what the hype is all about because it does have really great reviews. So I'm going to do all of those hair pre-treatment steps, but before I do that, I'm gonna do my face mask, the one I have been using for several months now. This is the Oskaya Renaissance mask. This is a Nutra-Active Brightening and Resurfacing Mask. I use this as the main thing I've been using to exfoliate my face. I do a retinol, like a over-the-counter retinol, so not real retinol. I do that like once a week. I do this once a week. This is what I mostly do on my Sunday routines, and it is exfoliating but in a very hydrating format, so it's pretty comfortable. I never feel dried out or irritated when I use this, and it starts out clear and turns white when you rub it in. I think this is nice. I don't know, I mean, you can leave it on too long, but I like its gentleness, but I don't know that it really chemically exfoliates my skin as well as other masks and other treatments. So this is a fairly expensive mask. I don't know that I'll be buying it again. I guess I expected a little bit more out of it. It's nice. I don't know. I generally have mixed feelings even though I've gone through most of this. And I think what I don't like about it is it's kind of melty. It melts down and it's oily. And I don't know. Can you tell I have mixed feelings about it? Oh, I'm gonna put some eye mask on. This is the Jen Green Tea Eye Gel Patch. This is a K-Beauty brand. I wouldn't get these again because the little green tea pieces come off these little eye gel patches. These are just little temporary depuffing, plumping. Green tea, the reason they put like caffeine in these things is because it helps with puffiness, but it's nighttime. It's just kind of a chill thing to do. It feels good under my eyes, and these are not in the right position. I probably should have put those on first. Whoa, these have moved down. Sorry guys, I did the first section of my hair and I thought I was recording, and I had my phone face the other way, so I didn't know it stopped. So we're gonna do the next section together. Apparently if you're low on space on your iPhone, it just will stop recording without making any noise. So anyways, my mask has been sitting on my skin for a while, my face mask. So you can see it's not as white anymore. But anyways, I don't know what I shared with you. So let's just start over with the Philip Kingsley Elasticizer Mask. I put this in my hair first, the Sicily Hair Ritual Reconstructing Mask, the balm on the ends of my hair, and just so you guys can see the texture, it's really oily, so it looks like a cleansing balm. It turns into an oil. You put it in all over your hair. I just do the ends, and then I finish off the rest of my hair with the elasticizer, but you have to get your hair wet to put this in. But I like the oils for my ends. You can leave this in your hair as long as you want. You can put your hair in braids, you can wear it all day. A lot of you, I think, will think that the oil is kind of greasy looking, so you may just want to leave it on overnight or as long as you want, really. Just know that it may make your hair look a little bit oily. So I'm sectioning off my hair, getting it wet with my Pattern spray bottle. You can get this at Ulta. I wish it held a little bit more water, but I am just wetting down my hair. You could just step into the shower, get your hair wet, but I don't want to do that. I generally just spray my hair down, put a pump of this guy. It is like a creamy lotion, and I just run it through the sections of my hair. I know it seems like a lot, but it's a treatment, so it's like a weekly treatment that you're not going to use every day. You're going to shampoo it out, so it's really not a big deal if you have thinner hair. That is on the thicker side, but to me it's not too thick or oily. Then I use this wide tooth comb to evenly distribute the mask. And I basically just repeat the steps on my whole head while I have my face mask on. And it doesn't seem super relaxing, but I just like to get this out of the way, this pre-treatment step for my hair, and do other things like chill on the couch, watch TV. And when I'm all done, I shower, shampoo, and then I do a deep treatment hair mask that is a lot richer. It tones my hair. I use a couple different masks, but I kind of like the idea of a pre-treatment for my hair because it is perpetually damaged, and I'm already out of water after 2 sections, so I'm gonna fill this up. All right, the problem with this thing is it doesn't hold enough water. The sprayer on it is fantastic though, because it's thin, gives you a nice long spray, especially with long hair. I just can't really thoroughly wet my whole head with one full bottle. I need a couple full bottles. You might be thinking, this is a lot of steps, this is a lot of work for your hair. Absolutely, but if you want to damage your hair with heat, color, highlights, bleach, you gotta help your hair out a little bit. So when you wash your hair, you're essentially drying it out, but you're cleaning it. Very essential. You gotta clean your hair. Well, I mean, that's debatable, I guess, but most people say you need to clean some of those oils that build up that can happen. But when we do that, we're kind of roughing up the surface of the hair. I mean, shampooing it, unfortunately, alone, just shampooing can create split ends, rough ends, dryness. So to have sort of a little bit of a barrier before you put in that shampoo, it actually helps kind of smooth things out and reduce the friction from that soap. Because even if you use sulfate free, there's some sort of soap ingredient in there usually. All right, we're looking good. On to the last section. So I usually have about 4 sections of hair to get through. Now, if you were gonna do a workout, you could do this pre-treatment step, workout, and then shower. That would be a good time. You can do it overnight, shower in the morning. I'm a night showerer. So on Sundays, I'm starting my routine pretty late, usually after 9 o'clock, like it is now, almost 10. I had to delete all the videos on my phone to finish up this video, and just in case it shuts off again, doing an experiment here, I'm using the front-facing camera, which is not as high quality, but I don't want to redo some of this stuff. So my hair's pretty wet now. Could be even wetter. If you want to save yourself time, just jump in the shower, wet your hair. But if you're like me, you're like, I don't want to get in the shower, that's too much work, or you know, I want to do other stuff while I'm doing this, like record a video or watch TV or YouTube, you might just want to spray down your hair. All right. So you have super tangled hair, and this product may not create enough slip for you. So you might have to add, I don't know, some sort of deep leave-in conditioner, detangler, so you can just get that comb through to distribute this product. Now the Philip Kingsley elasticizer comes in different versions. This is just the classic one, and I got it in this giant bottle. Because this adds a significant amount of time to my routine, because I try to leave this in like half an hour before I shampoo, and then after I shampoo, I do another hair treatment. I often skip the pre-treatment step, especially because I have to get my hair wet. I do like this though, because I can put it in dry hair before I decide, okay, I'm gonna do my masking routine. I can just throw this in my ends and call it a day. It's not getting the most out of the mask because I'm not leaving it in for several hours, but I'm trying my best here. Okay, so now I have my hair mask in. I am probably getting close because some time elapsed since when my phone stopped recording. That I would probably want to rinse this off my face, but we're gonna leave it on. I'm not too worried that it's gonna burn my skin off or anything, but I just wanted to quickly mention another mask, and it's a sample, and I've gotten a sample before. This is from Valmont. This is like a spa kind of brand where you would get a really expensive facial. This is the Prime Renewing Pack, and this is like a clay mask that I would use for for just kind of clearing out my skin. It's not super drying, which is what I like about it. Just want to purify your skin. This would be a, I think, gentler alternative to Biologique Recherche's mask Vivant, which is that brown mask that everyone uses all over Instagram, which I also have. I'm trying to finish this up before I use that one all the time. But yes, this is Valmont. This is another one. I don't know the full price of it. I've only had samples, but I do like this one quite a bit. So that is another option for you guys. I put this on my lips. I don't know if I captured this yet, but this is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and this is the sweet candy flavor. I do like this. I think the effect, it doesn't last like for hours on me. Like, I put this on before I go to bed, and when I wake up, I don't feel any of the moisture left on my lips, so it's not super long lasting. I just think it's an enjoyable experience. The smell of it is like, if you have a candy addiction and you don't want to eat candy, this is an awesome replacement. A lot of people have talked about this Laneige mask. There's different scents and colors and all that. It's just fun. I mean, it's like a lip balm. I don't really know that it does long-lasting, incredible things for my lips, to be honest, but temporarily it feels good. Just kind of like these things. They don't do any sort of long-term useful things besides giving your under eye a little plumping and temporary plumping and a little bit of hydration, but otherwise it's not like moving mountains. Same thing with that lip mask. Not moving mountains with that one. All right, but yeah, you guys can see how this mask kind of started out white, and you can see as I'm massaging it in, it's turning white again. But when it's sitting on your face and it's soaking in, it loses that white color. Isn't that funny? Now I'm just kind of working it in. I probably put a little bit too much on, to be honest. So this is my typical Sunday routine. So right now, I'm just having the pre-treatment kind of soak into my hair for a while. And I would totally like get on my phone or watch something on TV, or I'll be on my computer, do a little bit of work, or do some laundry, put some clothes away, tidy up a little bit. I'm definitely not always the self-care Sunday relaxer kind of person, because I feel like I have a lot of treatments to get through, and generally when I am doing this routine, I have just come home from my boyfriend's house from the weekend. I'm usually over there on the weekend, and I come home usually with laundry or something that I need to put away, and I have all my like good beauty stuff at my place because I'm here most of the time. So I do my self-care Sunday when I come home right away, usually, because I'm usually home like later in the evening on Sunday, and I just get started on the routine. But that's just kind of what I do. But if you just kind of want a chill vibe, you could do, I mean, I don't really suggest this, but if you wanted to start your manicure while all of this hair and face stuff is going on, you could just file your nails, remove your polish, and kind of get ready for when you can actually paint them, because I don't suggest painting them and then having to rinse all of this off and shower. So I don't suggest that. But anyways, I thought it'd be fun to go through my routine a little bit, and we're not done yet, but let's move on to the Crest white strips, because, and I think I'm gonna put this on after I rinse this out in between, like when I have my other hair mask in, and I'll show you guys that step. But I'll put in my Crest white strips. So I haven't used these in over a year. It says you can use them safely once a year. So it comes with like a pack of 20 strips. They're one-time use, so 20 treatments, has a top and bottom section, and I'll put them in a little bit. But just want to quickly mention that these actually really work. Now it depends on how yellow your teeth are, right? You want to have good dental hygiene. You want to go to the dentist and get your teeth cleaned regularly. That's certainly going to help the color of your teeth. Get rid of that tartar. Also, you want to have good dental hygiene. Brush your teeth at least twice a day. Some people, it's going to be after every meal. You're going to want to floss. I don't always floss. I know. But you want to floss as much as possible. And, but if you're really cosmetically, you just want whiter teeth, this is a great, pretty safe, pretty comfortable treatment. Now, if you have sensitive gums, I do. I noticed after the first couple times, this really stung my gums. And bleaching is no joke. It is not pain-free. There's a lot of at-home devices that you could literally whiten your teeth every single night for the rest of your life. It seems like that's not really safe, not really great for your gums, not really great for the sensitivity of your mouth. Because if you are sensitive, even something like this, which is safe to use, hurts a lot. But it just depends. Some people, it doesn't bother them at all. But even me, like hours, a day after using this, the first couple days, my teeth were very freaking sensitive. It was crazy. I'm like, oh, I don't remember feeling this before. And I don't know if things have changed in my mouth. I don't know if my gums are not as healthy, but yeah, it hurts. Now, I have done a professional whitening treatment in the past. It was like a fun little mommy-daughter thing we did at some dentist. It was Zoom whitening. Probably some of you have heard of it. It's like a one-time thing that you can do, and they give you like, if you do like a proper one, I think they do like a mold of your teeth, and they give you trays, and you can do treatments at home afterwards. Basically you sit in the chair, they give you all these shades of teeth, like what color do you want? And then they say, okay, you gotta leave it on for this long to get that white, and it may not get that white. Oh my God. So that is the most painful experience. Like, it hurts so much. No, I don't know that people talk about it, and it's a very personal thing. Like, even if one person says, yeah, no pain at all, doesn't mean that you're not gonna have pain. I wouldn't do it again unless like I knew they were gonna give me some numbing stuff, and I don't know that whatever they put on my gums, it wasn't strong enough, because that hurt so much. It wasn't worth it to me. But essentially those professional whitening treatments, like this, you use kind of gradually. You leave this on like 30 minutes a day, 20 times, right? 20 days in a row. You don't have to do it in a row, but that's basically what this treatment is. It's a lot more gentle. It's a lot slower. You know, it's a lot more of a commitment. But like that hour in the chair, professional whitening, it's basically all of these in an hour, which it's awful. To me, it's not worth it. But if you know someone in your life that is addicted to super white teeth, they are willing to go through that pain, and I guess they probably get used to it. I can't imagine doing regular whitening all the time, because I can't imagine that's good for your gums, at least for me, that sensitivity. But even if you have perfect gums and you're doing this repetitively for years, I can't imagine you're not doing any damage. Like, also, you're wearing down the enamel on your teeth, I believe. But I think that's why they say, like, safe to use once a year, but if you use this all the time, you're probably gonna mess up your teeth, because it's not, I don't think, whitening your teeth that great for you, to be honest. Just gonna put that out there. I wanted to talk about this new face really quick, because I do want to do a little demo again. I did a whole little video, first impressions, how to use. I have not used this regularly because it does kind of hurt, but I did feel some sort of, I think I saw some sort of minor effects with this. At least, you know, putting on this hydrating gel is gonna plump you up. Anyways, we'll use that too with the crust white strips, but I'm going to come back, rinse off my face, wash my hair, and then put in the masks, the leave-in deep treatment hair masks, and show you what that process is like. All right, y'all, I just took a shower. My face is looking real rough right now, so apologies. Yeah, my hair is soaking wet. I put a towel on over my robe because I'm gonna be using a toning mask and I don't want to get my right robe all purple. So guys, I shampooed. That's all I did. I did not condition. We're gonna deep condition now. And normally I would do this step right in the shower before I towel off, but I'm not gonna do a whole shower video with you guys. That's just too much. So first I want to tell you what I shampoo with. I shampoo with 3 shampoos. I know, it's crazy. One for my scalp. This is the Beautay Serene Scalp Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. I have about this much left, and it's okay. Salicylic acid is the active ingredient. I wouldn't repurchase. I feel like it helps my scalp a little bit, but I don't feel that much relief from it, but I am finishing it up for my regular just shampooing the rest of my hair. Now this might be overboard, but remember I did a whole bunch of pre-treatments, so I wanted to make sure everything was really washed out. I use the Virtue Recovery Shampoo. This is feeling light, so I feel like I'm almost out of this. This has protein in it. I feel like it's just really nurturing. I know that's not the best word for a shampoo, but it cleans without making my hair feel super dry. And then lastly, rinse that out, both of those shampoos out, and then I follow up with my purple toning shampoo from Kerastase. This is the Bane Ultraviolet. Spoken about this in many videos. This is what I use on my Cool Tone Platinum highlights. Not all my highlights are platinum, but this really helps tone the ones that are. I think it works really well, but it is drying, so I just leave that on a couple of minutes. Now I'm out of the shower, so onto the mask. I use 2 masks. Definitely not necessary, but I have pretty dry hair, so I like to use 2 different kinds. First I put in is the Christoph Robin Shade Variation Mask, Baby Blonde Toning Purple Mask. I find this smells really good, but also pretty hydrating for a toning mask, and it's super deep purple. I think it also helps contribute to the toning of my hair very well, besides the shampoo. This is about how much I put in my hair. Looks like this. See, I think you can see why I would put this towel down. I still might have some purple remnants come onto my robe, but I do find it washes out. But you do want to be careful in the shower, any toning, especially the shampoos. If you have a tile bathroom, shower, whatever, it is gonna stain, so you just want to rinse it off right away after you use it, and it's way easier to clean that way. Otherwise, if you leave it on the shower walls, it's gonna stay purple. So that is that, and then I put on the next mask, which is a very I would say just a basic hydrating mask. So the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask. I got this at Costco. This is the largest pump size, and it's like a very, I don't know, basic kind of moisturizing mask. I don't find it too heavy or too oily or anything like that. Both of these masks are silicone free, so it's pretty great to have something like that. Even though I don't mind silicones in my hair, I definitely enjoy them a lot. But as far as masking, sometimes you don't want to have those sort of silicones in your hair that you can't rinse out easily, especially when you're applying a lot of product. So both of those are silicone free, which is really nice. Makes it easy to wash out. Don't have to worry about a lot of residue. And then I comb this through, very important. Now, usually my hair is sopping wet. After I shampoo, I put this on right away. These masks, comb it through. It's definitely easier if your hair is wet to comb through rather than letting it dry and trying to put these masks on. So I do all of this in the shower, but if you have curly hair especially, you're gonna wanna comb through your hair with this product in it, and with these masks, it's really easy to comb through the hair. This is like one of the few times I actually brush my hair is when I have conditioner in it. All right, we're good to go. Got the 2 masks in there. Now, here's the fun part. I put a thermal cap on, and I put on a liner before I put on the thermal cap, because the thermal cap I heat up in the microwave. Now, if I had a fancy hooded dryer like in the salon, I wouldn't need to do all this, but I don't have anything like that, so I use a cap. I put in the microwave for a few minutes, and then I put it on my head and leave it on for 30 minutes. And that's how I get the product to better penetrate my hair. Heat definitely helps get product kind of in your hair a little bit more. So here's the liner that I put on. It's aluminum, a lot of noise. I put my hair in here. You could use a plastic cap you get from a hotel. And then I put this guy on top of that, because you can't wash this. There's little beads in here that retain heat. Can't wash it, so you want to make sure you don't get this wet over and over, because you can't clean it really. So you want to have a cap, plastic cap, that touches this to keep this from getting wet. And this is from Hot Heads, if you guys are curious. You can look up Hot Heads thermal hair care online. They have different styles, but basically you heat it up in the microwave, turn it inside out, heat it up again. It's about like 3 minutes or so, and then that is how it works. So I'm gonna put this on, show you how that works. So this is gonna look awkward. But this is how you do it. And normally I put my head in the shower, so the water just kind of drips down.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery...
Now I'm going in outer space. This is honestly the hardest part. Is getting my hair to fit in this thing, because it's long, it's curly, and when it's wet, it's just hard to get my hair in there. But then I put this on top, but I'm gonna go heat it up, and then I will be back. All right, I'm back. I have my Hot Heads thermal cap on, and it is very warm. It's actually nice in the winter. It's nice and toasty. Definitely makes your head hot. The air is elastic. It does kind of leave red marks on your head, so just kind of be aware. You probably don't want to go anywhere after that, but it does work fairly well. And honestly, you only need to wear it about 30 minutes. Once it feels cool, you can absolutely take it off, because it's really not doing anything anymore. Yeah, I definitely recommend it, but if you don't own a microwave, you don't believe in microwaves, I think that's the only real way you can heat this up, to be honest. So just want to caveat that aspect of it. We're getting back to skin and teeth and all of that goodness while my hair masks soak in. Now you could do your nails now, you can just chill, whatever. I know this is a ton of steps. Again, I don't do everything every week. Mostly what I do at the bare minimum is a face mask and my deep conditioning mask. And usually when this is happening, I put on my face mask. Today I did it before I showered, but I did wash my face before I put that on, to remove all the sunscreen. All right, so let's go back to the Crest white strips again. And I'm gonna put these on. I don't think it's gonna affect my speech. We'll see. But in case you guys were wondering what these are like, these have been around for years. This is the top strip, so your top teeth, you use this one, your bottom teeth, you use this one. What I find funny is these clearly do not go all the way to the back of your teeth, which may not seem important, and they do not go around the bottom of your teeth. So it's literally just this top portion that you can see. But when you get a professional treatment, or you do those at-home ones where you have like this huge mouth thing that you fill up with gel, you're actually getting all of your teeth white everywhere, which is good, right? Because if some of your teeth are white and some are yellow, it can be a little bit weird, but honestly, these are not that strong. I don't think it's that big of a deal if there is a difference in your mouth, unless you just use these every day forever and ever. You might really notice a difference. But anyways, here's the top one. I brushed my teeth. I just drank some water. And you just press them on and fold them. Fold them under like so. And kind of feels like rough plastic. I don't drink or eat or anything like that. If I had a meeting, I definitely wouldn't keep these on because it does kind of affect your speech a little bit. But this is the bottom one. There you go. That's it. It's pretty simple. These stop like right here. So all of this is not getting white. Tops of my teeth. Obviously not getting white. And when some people talk and smile, you can see the back of their teeth. So I could see why these are not gonna work for everybody if you want like a whole mouth white smile. But for the cost, I mean, these are actually fairly expensive. I think they're like over 40 bucks now on Amazon for a pack of 20. But they do work fairly well and they do last a while, but honestly, it depends on what you eat and drink, how long the whitening is going to last. So I drink coffee, so I drink a lot of acid, soda, that kind of stuff stains your teeth. You can use a straw, that helps, but yeah, anyways, mileage may vary on the whitening. But you can't really tell. It starts to look a little cloudy and foamy after a while. And what I kind of find annoying about these after 30 minutes, they actually stick so well, it's hard to get them off. But they do come off and they do leave kind of a slight film, but you can rinse out your mouth if it bothers you. One thing I want to mention real quick, speaking of self-care Sunday, I think it's nice to have a really comfy, cushiony footwear. So these are some new-ish slippers I got from Minnetonka. I believe I got these from Soma, which is like a pajama lingerie website. These have like a little see-through strip right here, and these are dirty. They have like not the most non-slip, but it's more like a shoe or like a flip-flop bottom, which is kind of nice. It's a little sturdier. But I thought these were just super cute, super soft and comfy, and I've been wearing so many slippers. I'm wearing through my slippers a lot quicker because I'm at home all the time working. I'm not wearing real shoes, and I love slippers now, and I just always want new ones all the time. Let's get into the new face. I want to use this again because I haven't in a while, and I just wanted to show you guys how it works. And it stings a little bit. I can get over it. It does bother me though, even though if I use a lot of gel, I'm sensitive. I might just use the lowest setting here to avoid that stinging. Also, what I find annoying about this whole process is that it takes a lot longer than 5 minutes because you have to keep reapplying gel. You can't just apply it once to the whole face. It dries out. Then you're using water to refresh it. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, this is the gel that you have to use, absolutely essential. This is how they get you because you have to keep rebuying the gel. I'm sure you could find some sort of thing that will work so your skin doesn't burn off with this stuff because it does sting. But you essentially, there's different techniques. You can do this, hold it in one spot till it beeps technique. You can do the stroking technique. Oh, I can definitely feel it. I think if you are a noob, really sensitive, even with the gel, you're just keeping it in motion makes it not hurt as much, or not kind of feel tingly as much. So I just do these little motions, but as you get more advanced, more used to it, it's probably more efficient, or it works better if you just keep it in one spot and then move it. Keep it in one spot and move it. But I do think that just kind of takes more time. But in the, videos and instructional videos, they probably say you just need to go over one area twice, and that's it. But I kind of go over it multiple times. But even if I use this like the minimum amount that they say to do it, it's so time consuming. So I'm putting on more gel on this side. The other annoying part about this, you're gonna want to put this on clean skin and then you put this gel on, and then I'm like, okay, what about the rest of my skincare routine? How does this really fit in? Do I rinse it all off? And I found myself like, I don't want this huge layer of hyaluronic acid as my first step, so I actually wipe it off when I was using this regularly. Says you're not supposed to go down the middle, but I do. Because I just found it was too much for my skin. Not really what I wanted for my routine. Like, I like hydrating steps, but it was almost like too much product for my skin, I think. Anyways, this is the basic gist of like the neck area. A lot of people told me like hold it in place, use the strongest setting, you'll get more noticeable results. What I think is really going to help with is this tech neck, this wrinkle from just bending, looking at my phone all the time, looking down, looking at the computer, that I don't particularly love that I have, but I know a lot of people have it too. Anyways, I'm not really feeling the tingle as much now, but I have it. On the lowest setting, you want to make sure both balls are hitting your skin at the same time. This is the lower end model, so there's no attachments with this. It's just this one attachment and that's it. All right, so it beeps. You guys hear it. It kind of tells you when to move. So I'm going on to the rest of my face over here, my cheeks. And same sort of motions. You're actually going to want to go more at this pace, like really slow. And what mostly this does is tone, I think. I mean, maybe it stimulates collagen, but I think it mostly kind of does some toning, anti-aging kind of stuff. Plumping, maybe a little bit of circulation. But I know some people have pointed out, if you are, oh, see, it already turned off. That's how long it's supposed to take your whole face. So I'm overdoing it, of course. but I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm just overdoing it. You can do this kind of a motion underneath the cheek. But people have said like the repetitive use in the gel is probably what causes your face to kind of plump up and fill in. And maybe it's not so much the device and the current, which I found to be like, oh, totally. I mean, a lot of us use skincare, but I don't use a gel like this in my routine. Not this much product, but I feel like I have to use a lot of gel with this device so I don't have any tingling. But I have some sagging, so I felt like this device is going to be helpful for me because I'm only 34 now and my face is drooping, and it's probably because I'm a little overweight, but I don't like the way my face is going. Anyways, this is the gist of it. I'll show you what the forehead's like. So it's a little bit hard to use it on your forehead because you don't have as much fat there. If you have like a really skinny lower face, also might be difficult. But it's not like as massagey. You're just kind of going over tight skin in this area. I also find that the gel dries out a lot quicker on this area. But you're just kind of toning. I think it would be good to have the little eye ones just to kind of plump up and stimulate that area. Might be good, especially have some sagging there, like right here, kind of a deal. I know I'm not using this like super how you're supposed to do it, but this is just my way of doing things. I move a little bit quicker than you're supposed to and just kind of go over and over and over the same spots. Just because I'm usually distracted, I'm not paying attention to how many beeps, how much I've gone over one spot. But I think a lot of us are not always present when we're using devices, just like when we're brushing your teeth. You may not be paying attention. So that is the new face. I know there's a lot of people that love the toning stuff. What I am really interested in next in terms of skincare devices is getting one of those LED masks, whether it's the Dr. Dennis Gross or the Omnilux. Those look really interesting. It seems like people have noticed some really good effects from, like, really visible effects from those masks, and they notice a difference when they stop using it. And I think even more so than the new face. It seems like those kind of masks, and they're more expensive, but it seems like those masks seem to do more than the new face. But they're designed to do different things, like the light therapy versus microcurrents. It's very different, but I would imagine I would notice a difference as well. So that's probably my next investment. And probably one of my more expensive investments this year in terms of skincare. But I'll have to do my research and probably pick a time when I can get 20% off or something, those brands, because those are a pretty penny. And I'm worried about ease of use and like being annoyed by them. Does it truly take 5 minutes? That's something I would want to research. And then, does it sting at all? I imagine they don't, but what are the side effects? All right, guys, this is probably where I'll stop because I just need probably about 15 minutes more with my hair mask, and then I'm gonna shower, and I'll close off the video with putting in my leave-in products and kind of finishing up my self-care Sunday with you guys. So I will be back. All right, y'all, I just rinsed out that mask. I waited about 30 minutes. This whole process, I would give yourself a good hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how quickly you move. If you want to keep your hair mask in a little longer, if you want to do the pre-treatment step, a little bit longer. I mean, as much time as you need, but if you are in a rush, I would at least give yourself an hour, because you are going to, if you're just going to do like a deep treatment for your hair and a face mask, you are going to need 30 minutes you're going to need time to shower and wash your hair, time to put in the mask, and then 30 minutes to leave in the mask. You could shorten it to 20 if you need to, and then while you're waiting for your hair mask to penetrate, you can put on a skincare mask. I generally, on my self-care Sundays, don't do a sheet mask or hydrating mask, because I can leave those on overnight if I really wanted to, or the sheet mask I just find most useful when I want a boost of hydration, which generally before I go to bed, I don't really need, to be honest. If I'm gonna, do a full face of makeup, a sheet mask before that makes more sense. But generally on my self-care Sundays, I use like a purifying, decongesting mask, exfoliating mask, something like that, purifying, just because I find those to be the most dramatic. My skin feels so much softer and just instantly better after I use those, and just instant gratification, and I just feel like they really help my skin more than anything. So I definitely use those masks most often, and when I do my once a week treatment, I use those kinds of masks. All right, so my hair is very wet, just rinsed all those masks out, and I didn't follow up with a conditioner. You certainly can if you want to, but if you use leave-in products, it's definitely not necessary. And if your hair feels nice and moisturized after using those masks, you don't really need to add anything else. So my hair just has water in it. Now I'm gonna go through my leave-in routine and then my air dry, towel dry kind of routine, and that will be the end of the video. So let's get into all these products now. Please don't judge me. I know I've used a lot of hair products in this video, but I know what works for me, and yes, it's probably overdoing it, but my hair can also handle a lot of product. It's thick, it's curly, it's dry, it's damaged, and it just eats up products. So first things first, I'm going to use a scalp treatment, which I mean to do a separate video on, but I haven't yet. I got this during December holidays, Kerastase. I'm sorry, you can't really see it right now. It's very, very dark. This is a scalp treatment for Specifique Potentialiste. This is one of their newer scalp products, and it looks like a serum because it's a serum for your scalp, and you essentially use this dropper and go along wherever you want to feel relief on your scalp. You squeeze it and liquid product comes out, and it really is a relief on the scalp. I usually put it in my hair when it's damp and not dry, because this is fairly liquidy. It truly is a serum, and you can put it anywhere. I would just warn you that you're probably going to use a lot of product if you want to hit up all your scalp. I normally concentrate it on my most itchy areas at the top of my head and then at the nape of the neck, and I just squeeze, put my fingers and spread it as best I can along the scalp. You could use a scalp brush. It's like instant cooling effect. It is really nice because it just kind of, as I said, instant relief. The only thing I would think, like if you prefer to put something like this on your scalp and not have to, shampoo your hair first or get it wet first, this might not work for you because it is going to make your scalp wet. So if your hair isn't already wet, it's going to make it wet. And some people, that's not really a big deal, especially if you have curly hair. Like, you're probably re-wetting and restyling your hair a lot anyway. But if you're a person that blows out their hair, does dry shampoo, adding this on top of a dry shampooed scalp probably is not the best if you're not gonna wash in between. So this is something new I've been using. I haven't developed my full thoughts on it, but I do like the way it feels right after I use it, but that feeling I think goes away after the product dries down. To be honest, it's not like a long-lasting sort of relief. Next thing I put in is the Beautay Bright Blonde Essential Priming Serum, and this was my favorite hair care product find of 2021. This is a toning purple serum that you can leave in your hair, so it's always toning your hair, and I feel like it works really well, and my hair has definitely gotten less brassy when I have this in it. So I feel like it's expensive, but well worth the money. It also doubles as a heat protectant product, but I use other ones on top of that. So I start out with the purple toning serum, then I go into a more basic conditioner that's mostly just about hydration. This is the Rose Water Smoothing Leave-In Conditioner from TGIN. And this one has no sulfates, parabens, lanolin, petroleum, mineral oil. I think it has silicone, but I'm not sure. I like this one. It comes in a pump. It's one of those basic kind of thicker leave-in conditioners, and I just pull it through my hair. At the end of all this, after I put all of the products, I do comb it all through. You don't have to. If you have curly hair, you may not want to do that because you're going to break up your curls and disturb your curl pattern, but I mostly go for a wavy look, and I try not to care too much about my curl definition, to be honest, because I care more about softness than anything. Then I put on an oil, and this is a fancy one that I've been using. It smells very good though. Kerastase Chronologies. This is an oil with perfume in it, and it's very musky. Not very, kind of musky. It's a light musk. I think it smells very expensive because it is expensive, but I just put it through my wet ends. Sometimes I use this on dry hair too if I really want to make my ends appear really smooth. And I love a good oil. Now it does have silicones in it, but I feel like it really helps with frizz. And then I usually finish off with some sort of curl cream. I've been using up this kind of deluxe size one with hair attached to it. This is the Kerastase Curl Manifesto Creme de Jour Fondamentale. This is a daily moisturizing, frizz reducing leave-in treatment. This is not really necessary, but if you like a little bit more control, you can use a cream or a gel or something, some sort of hybrid. I'm just gonna finish this guy up. I have another curl control cream that's a little bit too much control for me, but that I will be using after this. I have already kind of tried it out and reviewed it, but I'm going to move on to that one next, and I think this is pretty much done. I love the smell of the Manifesto line. It's very white floral. But yes, I do use a lot of leave-in products, but I do not wash my hair a lot. Once it dries, it doesn't feel way down or heavy or greasy. So this kind of routine works well for my hair, and then I just use that same wide tooth comb to just make sure all the products distributed. You'll notice I don't put any, besides the scalp serum, I'm not really putting a lot of stuff from here up near my scalp because it does get a little greasy because I'm not washing it every day. So I'm just combing it through. Now some people may want to use a gel or more of a scrunch motion to apply their products, and you're going to get the most bouncy, voluminous curls that way. Again, I don't really focus on that, but if that's what you're going for, it's probably the motion you're gonna wanna go with. Now, as far as air drying, if I'm not doing like a blowout or a curly hair routine, if I'm doing like full curls, I unless I'm in a hurry, I air dry my hair. Now, if I'm going to go straight, I like to blow dry my hair straight and then use a flat iron to kind of finish it up. That generally looks the best for me and makes my hair last the longest straight, if that makes sense. But if I'm going totally natural and then maybe I want to add in a few curls after the fact, I air dry. Even so, even if I'm going to go straight, I use a hair towel from Aqua's hair turban to get rid of kind of the excess moisture. But I make sure I put all my leave-in products before I put the hair towel on, because to me these products are going to work best for me if my hair has more water in it. If I put this in, it's going to be a lot more dry. These are going to feel a lot heavier and a lot harder to spread. So I make sure my hair is pretty wet, put these in, and yes, the towel will absorb some of this product, but mostly it's going to absorb the water. So it's kind of a give and take. Yes, some of the product's going to get wasted, but I've had good results using this and doing it this way. So I just pop this on, twist it up, and then connect the little tie in the back with the button. Some of my hair is coming out. But generally, this is how I finish up my routine before I head to bed. This obviously took a lot longer than it normally would take for me. And as I said, I don't do all of these steps, and I definitely do not always do like the hair pre-treatment step, because that really does add on a half an hour more to this routine. But these are things I feel like I need to do to myself every week to kind of keep up the health of my skin, the look of my skin. But mostly I've noticed a huge difference in my hair since I've been doing these weekly masks. It's a ritual that I do not ever want to give up, because it's kind of really helped out my hair and how it feels. It feels a lot softer. It's definitely still dry feeling. I think I will always have that problem because I have curly hair, but especially because I do damage it with color and heat, this really does help out a lot. That is it for my Sunday self-care routine. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Hopefully you found this helpful, or it inspired you to take a little time for yourself and take care of your hair, because we all need a good deep treatment once in a while. I recommend once a week. Your hair will thank you for it. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please comment below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.